We are live Sunday night with those guys. And Sunday night with those guys is sponsored by
those guys.
guys.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How the hell are you? I don't
What's
know
going
what
on,
you.
man?
What's up, Herman? Herman,
I'm still in the car trying to get to the house.
We are some bad dudes. You know why? Because you remember we went to that so-called convention in Atlantic City,
Yes,
and got home and did a live stream. Well,
Yep.
we topped that this weekend. I don't know what you guys did this weekend, but what did we do, Herman?
Woo, man, we flew the hell out of the place up there in that Providence, Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. We were up there. We even went to some old abandoned fort wall. Wow,
Yes.
we did it.
Yes.
We had a lot of people
Yes.
too. But a lot of
Yes.
guys from that Connecticut, was that the Rhode Island drone meetup group?
Yes.
A lot of guys up there in Rhode Island. A lot of guys from
Ray
everywhere.
Kelly.
But
Ray
we had
Kelly.
a big presence from New York come up there.
Yes, we did. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to point out, Ray Kelly, you're a bad dude too. You already know you're officially one of those guys, Ray Kelly. But I want to shout out Ray Kelly. And this show is based on our entire weekend. And then I'm going to get the hell off of here and go drink some scotch and relax. Because we didn't earn it.
I'd like to thank Mark for inviting us out there. I thanked him once when we were out there, but Mark Fisher, he's a class dude. He runs he had a class show there this weekend. Take my hat off to him, brother. Thank you for bringing us out there, for inviting us out there to have a good time with your friends and in your group, and
friends and family. Friends and family.
Thank you yes, friends and family. Because a lot of the guys came out with their wives and everything, and like I said, thank you, Mark. Thank you for having us, showing us a good time out there. We went out to dinner with Mark that first night when we got out there. Thanks, the whole New York crew went and met up with him and had we had a blast. So
and I agree with you, Herman. Before we start talking about what happened and what we did this weekend, hey, Andy Taylor, what's up? How are you? We just did a weekend of flying in another state that I may not, because of Mark Fisher, have ever had a chance to go to or even thought about going. Okay. You mentioned Rhode Island. I think about cold and we went through everything.
Lighthouses.
Yes, lighthouses and stuff, right? Capes and
you would have thought.
My brain, huh?
There's a lot of things that we saw. A lot of things, good places to fly.
Herman, my brain, that's how I titled my videos, Pilots, Families, and Friends, Ray Kelly says. Okay. Congratulations, Andy Taylor. Good luck to you on your ventures with that new drone. But I did so much shit this weekend. My brain is still going 90 miles an hour. I got home, 35 minutes before live stream, Herman?
Okay.
After riding for 4.5 hours, 5 almost?
Yeah, almost 5, because I don't know where all that extra traffic came. The extra traffic came from. I don't know. We were on the road for almost an hour, and it looked like the GPS was moving backwards and not forward.
Yeah, that's true. When it said 3.5 hours, we hit traffic in Connecticut, and I want to let you know.
4 hours.
I want to let you know it went from 3.5 hours to 4 hours. And that was just sitting in traffic. He just saw Ray's video. Looked like a lot of fun. Steven says from Flyby Guys. Okay. Also saw Lawrence's
photos. It was a lot of fun, man. But you know what? I realized on that trip back, the people in Connecticut, they don't drive, man. They're snails. It was the traffic was in Connecticut going, and the traffic was in Connecticut coming back.
Yes. But I want to, and this may seem a little grandiose, but Ray Kelly and whoever else came to this meetup, Ray Kelly, hey, Welsh Rob and Drone Shots, Ray Kelly, you can vouch for this. They did their thing at that meetup. They had giveaways, a raffle. They gave away 2 DJI minis, right? Fly More bundles.
More combos. Yep.
2 Fly More combos, minis. They gave away T-shirts, from Ray Kelly's show, that, the Fly for Fun show. They gave out all kinds of stuff. And I'm mad because I thought about bringing this, Herman, and I got to put it in front of me because the screen. But this right here is a skin for an Air 2S. And I'm mad I didn't bring it. I thought about it, but I had opened it, and I don't give away no shit that's open. But I'm going to give it away on this live stream pretty soon. Maybe on Wednesday on your live stream, whatever. But Herman, you do know, after I wind down and eat a little dinner and sit down and relax, I'm gonna pass the hell out. I got the good Johnny Walker Green, courtesy of Mr. Herman Green. And
I've been moving
Johnny Drone Flyer, what's good, man?
On the road here.
Herman, for those of you who don't know what's going on, we not doing no drone news. We not doing nothing. We paying tribute to the Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group. Ray Kelly was there. New York represented so hard. I took a picture and I posted it on Facebook.
We had, Eddie Nunez was out there with us.
Yep.
Who else was out there from New York? We had Tom was with us.
The lady of New York, our I think #1 camera drone lady of New York, Deneen was there. Ron Sobers, classic. You guys know him as classic here. Ron Sobers was there. We took a picture. I took a picture the first night, and it didn't dawn on me till the next day. Someone mentioned it, Herman, that the entire New York crew, minus one person or two people,
went to dinner.
We went to dinner the night before the flight because we got there Friday night. Friday evening, whatever, we got there. And we immediately heard on the way up, yo, Mark Fisher says everybody, he wants to go out to dinner. And we went to a nice restaurant, Spumoli's, and everybody had a good time there. And from there, the weekend started. I mean, our first night there, tell Herman, what time do I usually go to bed? Hold on. What time do I usually go to bed at night during the week?
About 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Right. My nephew says 10, so you're right, roughly around there. The first night there, we hung out to what, 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Before we both passed out. And then I turned around the day of the meetup, that Saturday, I turned around and got up 2.5 to 3 hours later. You got up about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. You got up an hour after me. And we went to the meetup and was out all day. But I want to give a personal shout out to the Rhode Island. You know what I'm going to do? They're about to get bombarded. I'm going to put their link up. And I want everybody here who's on Facebook, say, yo, Lawrence and Herman told me that you guys are so cool. And we want to be a part of your community. And if we couldn't make it this time, we'll make it next time, because here it is, Rhode Island Drone Meetup. I'm gonna put their link there. If they ask who the hell are you, tell them those guys, Lawrence and Herman, sent you. Okay, great group. We were treated with nothing but love from the entire time we got there until we left. We had guys texting us in the car while we were driving back today. Yo, we had so much fun hanging out with you guys. And we're glad we had a chance to meet you, right, Herman?
Mm-hmm. And we also had Billy Kyle and Ken Dono.
Yeah, and right, Billy Kyle was there. Original Dobo was there as well.
Yeah,
Drone Bum says, I'm tired for you guys. Paul, I'm gonna tell you right now, after a 5-hour ride, which started out 3.5 to 4 hours, a 5-hour ride, 35 minutes before the stream, I was able to go to the store and grab some brew and come back and set up for the stream. But when I do sit down, and I'm going to repeat this, yes, RIDMUG, Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group, is a great group. We were privileged to join. They talk everything drones. They actually got together a pool and had intended, I mentioned this before, they had intended on getting one DJI Mini drone, just a drone and a battery. And they wind up getting up a little more money. And Ken Dono the original Dobo, Drone Works, that company is affiliated through. How, I don't know, but he's affiliated through them. I think he part owner, whatever matters.
I think
They wind up
the
sending,
sponsor is
right,
sponsor.
right. He got him to sponsor the meetup and to sponsor the Rhode Island Drone meetup group. And they sent 2 DJI Mini Fly More combos. And what I like about it even more, the raffle yesterday, there were people there. There was like over 60, there was over 60 people there.
Probably, yeah.
FPV camera drone. There were people that didn't fly drones that showed up just to come to the meetup, and other people's families and wives. And they gave away those 2 minis to people that didn't even own drones in a raffle.
That was a good thing.
Ray Kelly, the t-shirt that I won,
that way.
The t-shirt that I won, Ray Kelly, because Ray Kelly donated shirts. So people just came giving stuff away, man. And there was so much love, and everybody there, I don't know how many it was, but Herman and I and Ray Kelly and the New York crew, we made sure we said hello to every person there. Hello, my name is Lawrence. And people, and Herman, this is how I know those guys is headed in the right direction. And we spoke about this last night briefly, but guys, when you hear people saying, so who are they? Who's that guy? Or who are they together? And they're talking about me and Herman separately or together talking to each other. And you hear over your ear, they have a live stream from New York called Those Guys. That made me feel good, because it makes me think that, Herman, we are doing something to that people are enjoying. I hope.
Well, I hope, yeah.
I can only
it's
hope.
just to bring a little light to the things going on out there in the drone world, the unmanned world.
Right.
You know, hopefully,
right,
somebody can learn a little something or find out a little information.
I got to meet a lot of YouTube channels, and I'm not even going to mention one, but I'm going to say I got to meet a lot of YouTube creators that I actually watched their videos. And I'm not mentioning everybody, because there's one channel, I don't want to mention 4 or 5 people and not remember the names of certain individuals, of everybody, right? You understand what I'm saying? But Herman, how did you enjoy the weekend, man?
I'm tired. I'm tired. I got very little sleep.
I know you're tired, dude. I'm sitting here.
Very little sleep, and I charged a lot of batteries.
Oh, we flew to hell. For FYI, they're going to have one next year. Michael Blades, I got to fly with, dude, finally. I got to meet you personally. It was an experience, because Michael Blades, FPV, in the chat there. Iceberg, what's good? Thanks for coming by, showing the support. But Michael Blades, FPV, everyone. I watched him go through his FPV journey.
Okay.
And he builds his own birds now. He flies, and the time to flying and M drone, all you guys, I had a great fucking weekend. Okay. I'm sorry for cursing, but I can't say it any other way. Seriously.
Well, like I said, the weekend kicked off with the dinner, and after the dinner, we end up going to what's that, Prospect Terrace Park?
Yes, Prospect Terrace. Prospect Terrace. Yeah, because it was a ledge.
Well, it was a park, but it overlooked the city, and guys were able
entire
to
city.
Fly out from the park and get some shots of the city. And then the very next morning, we started out early at was that Collier Point Park.
Collier Point Park.
Guys were there pretty much the entire day, from like around between 7 and 8 o'clock that morning till like what, guys were pulling out of there at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah. We got back to the hotel room after that meetup at about 3 o'clock, and then they were talking about flying again later on that evening.
Minutes away from the
Prospect Terrace is a great spot to fly. Herman, I don't know how this will turn out. Okay, Michael Blades, I don't know how this will turn out, but I wanted to just show you guys some raw footage that I got from this weekend, to show you this spot If while I set it up, Herman, if you don't mind, if you could talk about what we did, basically.
Well, what we did
Invalid
was
device.
fly and fly and fly some more. Oh man, this garbage truck almost hit me. But yeah, we like I said, we started at the park that morning around 8 o'clock, and guys flew over there. It was so much to see. There was boats out in the water. They had tugs moving up and down the river. They had this a very nice bridge that you could have caught at night as well, from the street
Yeah,
outside the park.
yeah.
You were able to. There was a little, like a canal that went straight on. Well, I don't call it a canal, but the water flew under the bridge and went out towards a couple other bridges. But like I said, up and down that area, that waterway there, it was like
It was very
a couple
industrial.
of yeah, it was an industrial area to the like, I don't know if that was the north or the south area of the park, I guess.
Yeah.
And some tanks and stuff out there.
Can you guys in the
You were
chat
able
see this
to
picture?
you were able to
If you
catch, like
guys,
I said, the tugboats moving around out there, other boats, guys out there with jet skis. There was a lot
yeah,
of stuff going on.
there was a lot going on the day of the meetup. But if
Yeah.
you guys can see this picture, okay, this is raw footage. This is my first time using the Air 2S at night, trying to get buildings and stuff like that. And this is untouched. This is raw, straight off the SD card. I just copied it to my computer. I don't know if you can see it, but I just want to point out there was so much stuff to see and do that. Oh, so if I minimize that window, I'm sorry, I just screwed up. I was sharing and I need to be able to share this screen. Hold on. This window right here, share. Excuse me. Okay. This is the city of Rhode Island. Now, like I said, after turning down the highlights and the whites, this is raw footage. After you see this picture, I'm going to show this picture in the before and after on Facebook. But just to show you guys some of the beauty of the city of Rhode Island, it was really, really nice here. On this darker footage is also raw footage. I'm not going to show everything, but this is also untouched and I have to edit it. Everything is raw. This, I call it the White House because it's actually a city, a federal building in Rhode Island. I think this is their city hall of Rhode Island. But
yes, I didn't know any of those buildings. I just knew they were out there.
Yeah, Mark Fisher was talking about that the city hall and the courthouse and stuff like that were on this side here before he left. But I just wanted to let you guys know, here's another picture, raw, untouched. We had a freaking blast. And Herman can attest to it. Ray Kelly, I'm sorry I haven't been able to see the chat. Big Matt, what's good? I'm not showing anything. Oh, Michael Blade says that's the State House. He says it's the State House. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Matt. That's his city.
Showing the picture.
Michael Blades, everyone that I met, and there were over 60 people at least, easily. And like I said, Herman and I and Deneen, everyone from New York, we made sure we went and greeted everybody. There were people standing on the sides with their wives. I was like, yo, hello, my name is Lawrence. Pleasure to meet you. We represented real, they don't see anything. You're showing thumbnails. It might take a while. Might be a little bit of delay. Let me try this one more time because I can't see the chat. You know what I can do? I have Windows 11, so I can split this window. I can split this. Okay. Here we go. Now, how do I get this over? No, we can't do that. We can't do it that way. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. I'm a little drone drunk from flying so much this weekend. Right, Herman? Wait a minute. Drone drunk?
Or sleep deprived.
All of the above, bro. All of the above. Okay, let's go to share. This is the screen. Where's my screen? Okay.
Well, you know, where we were last night.
Yeah, I am sleep deprived.
I think I could hit that spot almost every week.
That was the cherry on top of the freaking whipped cream
Yeah,
last
that
night.
spot we were at last night. I could
And the
find something
ice
like that
cream and
every week.
food trucks were great too. Ray Kelly, they did it up. They had food trucks come. They had an ice cream truck come. It was
Yeah,
along the
guys
water.
selling
There was a
frozen
nice
ice.
breeze. Yes, yes, yes. All of the above. Okay, share button. Oh, it was showing. Okay. Iceberg, my nephew, just let me know that the pictures were showing. There was just a
Okay.
little bit of a delay. Maybe there's a delay on our voice. I don't know what's going on, but we apologize for that. Hey, Gary Brandt Ariels, Providence is the city. My God. Guys,
Mhm.
the last spot we went to yesterday, like Herman's talking about, if you ever see those movies, and Stephen King is famous for this, his movies where you see the ocean splashing and rocks and there's cliffs going up 200, 300, 400 feet above, and you have that mansion overlooking the waterways. That was the spot we went to. It was in Jamestown, and I think it's called the Weather Ledge. Michael Blades helped me. We were in Jamestown, the Weather Ledge Fort. I think it's the Weather Ledge Fort,
Weatherledge.
because we were trying to find Ken Dono, Billy Kyle, and
Oh,
Eddie Nunez.
that was a nightmare.
That was an experience because we got into the park. Now we see DJI FPV birds, guys. Okay, literally
You
back and
know,
forth. So we like, hey, Angie. So we went in
I
that
think the
direction.
locals use that fort to do other things.
Yes, which we can't. Oh, it's called Fort Weather, for
Oh,
Weatherall. Fort Weatherall. Well, Michael Blades, I'm gonna tell you, up until we met that lady,
okay.
I was having a good time. I was having a real good fucking time. She was nice. She was pleasant. She wasn't a cat. It was a World War II fort. She wasn't a Karen or anything, but we got into this place. Deneen was outside in the parking lot texting them like, where you guys at? And they weren't responding because Billy Kyle, Eddie Nunez, and Ken, Original Dobo, were out there flying. So when I'm flying, I don't answer my phone either. But we pulled up, and Deneen was like, guys, do you know where these guys are at? And we're like, no, we just got here. But to make a long story short, we see the FPV birds, right, Herman? Flying over the trees, and we hear them in the distance. Okay, it was used as a defense for I can't even say that now. I'm too tired. But we started to walk into the park, and we saw this family, a younger boy, younger
That was
girl,
ridiculous.
and a husband and a wife. And we were like, did you see any guys with drones? And they were like, drones? No, but
They saw the drones, but
we
they didn't
saw
see the
them.
people.
Right. We saw them, but we didn't see the people. And the husband goes, well, if you go around this way and make this turn and so on. And the wife goes, no. This is how you get there. Go up this hill right here, right, Herman?
Yeah,
And
walk along the wall.
up until this point, I was having a great freaking time where we were. And she says, go up this hill and walk along the top of the fort to the end. And then there's a path that goes down to the beach, because Eddie Nunez finally sent us a picture where he is, and there's jetties and rocks
Well,
and
he
water
sent the
splashing.
pin.
And so
He
we
sent the
figured when he's
pin
down,
where he said
right,
it.
right. We figured that's where he was. Anyway, he angled it so that he was looking down. To us, it looked like he was on the beach and he was on the jetty. So we went through this little path, and there were a few bushes and stuff. To make a long story short, we had to turn around after walking for about 5 to 10 minutes,
Well, we weren't
because you
going
get
to
to
where
this.
they were. We were going away from where they were
Yeah.
and
On a
into
hiking
a
trail,
different.
through a fort that has been overgrown by bush. You had to jump up, you had to climb stuff, you had to walk along. Herman got ripped on the arm by a thorn. Deneen got ripped on her ankle by a thorn. I said a thought. My nephew's dying. No, there were no thoughts there. I'm sorry.
They might have been.
Yeah, there might
They
have been.
might have been because it was a bunch of people hanging out in this thing. I don't know
There
why they
were
would go in
people,
there and hang out,
teenagers, and
spray paint the place.
this fort is abandoned since World War II. It's grown over with bush. To make a long story short, the final destination where we had to climb down to the beach, no lie, if it had running water, it could be a fucking water slide. And this kid, Alex, that we met, a nice kid, we're talking to him. He's like, oh, sure. Hey, Ed, so you took all the girls up there, Michael Blades? Nah. Michael Blades is a married man. Don't get him in trouble, Ed. But anyway, we get to this final point where you walk down and me, Deneen, and Herman look at each other. And I said, I immediately saw it before Herman. And I know he just finished having his foot operated on. And I said, Herman can't make it down there. And I said this.
Going to try.
No, but I said this.
To go down no muddy hill.
The reason I said it, Herman, was because I couldn't make it down there. So the kid said, if it was running water, you could have sat down and rode all the way down. Tell me you couldn't.
Well, watch this. Just looking at the place to get where all these people were hanging out in this thing, the only thing that ran through my mind is tetanus.
Hey, JC,
tetanus, boys and girls, tetanus. That's what happened messing around in that place.
All I can say is while we were walking to this point, you see a bunch of teenage girls, one boy with a bunch of girls. You know, it's a place where teenagers and kids hang out. They go in there to smoke bud and spray paint on the wall, their names over people. Oh, I hate that bitch, right over her. You know, that kind of stuff. Right, Herman?
No, but actually, from the cliffside where we actually drove down to the right spot, man, the views from there. Well, the view from there was good, but the views from out over the water looking back was what you had to see.
Yes, that was the cherry on the entire weekend. The cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of your favorite ice cream cake, whatever. That was it. Seriously. In fact, it was so beautiful there.
And the sun went down, it made it even better.
We didn't want to leave, to be honest. We really didn't want to leave. That's how beautiful it was. But I'm actually going through the photos. I'm trying to load up the photos because I just copied them, and photos and video, everything's combined together into my computer. And we shot a lot of footage. Excuse me there. Each battery, I burned 2 batteries at each spot. And each battery I can get 2 videos out of.
Wow.
Oh, Herman, you remember the house?
Which one?
The gray and white, the white and gray house?
Right.
Check this out. Guys, I'm going to try and share this, but this is unedited. This is raw, straight out the camera. But imagine having this house right here on a cliffside. Hey, Iceberg, can you check in about 5 seconds and let me know? Iceberg slowly become my engineer, Herman. But this picture, this house overlooks a cliff that goes down to the splashing waves, and seagulls are flying by, and you cannot get to this house except for one road. And what did Alex tell you? Alex was the kid that was walking us through the fort. Because Alex not.
It's funny you mentioned Alex again, but
hold on. If it wasn't for Alex, we might have gotten hurt back there.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is funny you mentioned this kid Alex again. Alex I just find that a lot of the people in that area just they stay there closing it, because he says I'm into drones, but I have no one around here to fly with. And I'm telling him there's a Rhode Island group. You go on,
we just came from a meetup, right?
On Facebook, and you can find guys in this area. He goes, they're around here because he stays around there. He doesn't leave around there. And he says to me, "That's my house right over there." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's your house over there." He lives on this.
These are mansions. They're not estates. Yeah. These are mansions. Everyone. Now, I just put up another picture, Herman, of the house, not the one in the far corner, but there was another house behind the gray and white house that had a clearing. I just posted a picture. Keep in mind, this is raw and unedited. It had a great. No, not that one. Not that further.
The brown house that you can see from the top of the hill, Alex said that's where he lives.
Right, the brown. I might have flew back in that
because
direction,
he
but
knew the names of all of the houses in that area.
Yes, yes, yes. But these guys can see some of the pictures. Um, there was a cliffside. Tell them about the FPV dude.
Oh, well, I thought he lost his bird because I saw the propeller start up and he took off like this and it just fell off the cliff. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then you hear, wow, it comes back up around the other side. I'm like, oh, okay.
He literally, when he takes off, I'm gonna show one more picture and then get back to the stream because I can't see the chat. But he literally took off. This is the cliff we were flying from. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, see where this 911 is? If you step past that, your ass better call 911 because you're going to smash down on the rocks.
Don't bother calling 911. Your head gonna bust on the rocks down there. That's it. It's over. Game over.
This is true. This is true. But the place was so beautiful, man. Oh, there's Denise's drone before it turned around and took a picture. That was the last battery. We had a ball. That's all I'm gonna say. Tomorrow, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot to do. But I'm gonna edit some footage. I'm gonna edit some footage. I'm gonna edit some pictures. Ray already has a video out from what I see. Ray, I loved your adventure video of Saturday. I didn't have enough time to do everything, to mingle with the people. What's the difference between a mansion and an estate? Okay, all right. Here's the difference between a mansion and an estate. An estate is a building with a house with very large doors, and an estate, you may have anywhere from 2 to 3 floors and maybe 7 to 10 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. Okay. A mansion may cover half of a city block. You may have cars like that house we saw, Herman, with the cars inside.
Yeah, same difference.
Right. You may have your cars parked. Now, I didn't say cars parked inside, and you may have anywhere from 25 to 30 bedrooms and about 15 to 20 bathrooms and your own cooking staff and a guest house for your staff behind the mansion. Okay, so I don't know if it was beautiful. There was one house there. Remember when we were leaving and the sun was setting and we were facing east, and way across the water there was a house. The sun was reflecting. There was one house maybe about 2 miles from us. I would even go as far as to say, about 2 miles from us.
Big gray one straight ahead off the cliff.
Stood out on top of this hill, and nothing else was around it for acres and acres and acres, and the sun was reflecting off of it. What happened?
You have to be careful over there too, because when we took off on the cliff at 53 feet high off the cliff, you can fly across to the other side, to the other cliff, where that house that you're talking about is. The problem is something that I experienced flying over there, was that side is actually higher. So when the people came out the house, I was looking right at them.
Yeah. If you wanted to fly along the coast from where we took off from, you could fly like at 53 feet above where you took off from, and you could cruise. The cliffside was here, and you could cruise along the cliffside like that at 53 feet, and it would look like you were so close you were almost going to hit. And then there was one house that stuck up, that rose up as the terrain went up, and if you didn't raise up, you could run into the side of their mansion. And another difference between mansions and estates, Ed, estates are usually landlocked and around large areas of land. This mansion, from the front side of the house, the left side of the house, and maybe the right side of the house, you could look out and see the Long Island inlet, Long Island Sound.
Okay.
Ray, if I had your money, I'd burn mine. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And Ray Kelly, he's balling. He's balling because Ray Kelly, I inspire to be like you if I ever make it to your age. We drove up there 3.5, 4, it turned into 5 hours, whatever the case was. Ray Kelly lives on Long Island, Long Island.
Was quick.
He took the ferry across. Robert C. I'm almost delirious now because I had very little sleep this weekend. So if I don't pay attention to the chat and or mispronounce a few names, it has a lot to do with the beer and the fact that we just finished driving for 5 hours to get home to do this live stream. I still have a nickel I was born with, Ray Kelly says.
I can believe that. I'm still trying to find a parking spot here.
Thank you, Iceberg. I appreciate it. It's true. You do learn something new every week, thanks to those guys. We appreciate that support. Seriously. But I wanted to let you guys know, New York City showed up in Rhode Island, and we didn't plan it like this. People just said we going. And people's like, oh, you're going to Rhode Island? I'm going. I had heard Billy Kyle was coming.
A lot of the guys from New York did not go.
Yes,
yes, and really they're wishing, out there flying did not go.
And I know they're wishing that they had went. But once again, I want to give a great shout out. The video shows a little of the ferry ride too. I'm going to check out the video, Ray Kelly, because when I get off this live stream, I already kicked my shoes off. I'm going to take my shirt off. I'm going into Al Bundy mode. I'm going to check out your video. I'm going to get some Johnny Walker Green, that courtesy of Mr. Green. And I am going to watch your video and relax for the evening and maybe pass the hell out.
So you're telling everyone I got the Johnny Walker Connect?
Listen, you're the only person I know can get it on order. Anyway, wow. Herman.
Yeah.
I have one thing to ask you.
It wasn't me.
Out of this whole weekend that we flew and did everything, what was your, well, I think I know the answer, but what was your best flight out of all of that? I think I already know the answer though, but I just want the guys to hear. And same thing with you, Michael Blades. What was your best part about this weekend, bro?
Actually, I have two parts about the weekend that I really had a good time at the park because I wanted to fly at the park and I didn't get a chance to fly as much as I wanted to because, like I said, we were there till almost 3 o'clock and we got there around 8 o'clock. And I socialized with these guys and talked with everybody and their wife and they had a guy there from Hotel.
Yes, they had a hotel sponsor as well.
I did so much talking with the guys that I didn't start flying until Billy got there.
And that was when after almost everybody left.
Right, and a lot of guys had left already, but there was still a big crowd of guys there. And that's when I finally got to take off. You know, my plans was to come and fly the hell out of the place. But I just started talking so many guys from Rhode Island, guys that came from other places. I was talking to them so much that I barely got to get the drone up, but I got some shots. Got some shots. Then we left there and we went back to the hotel and we charged up and got something to eat and that night when we went over to that fort when the sun started to go down.
That was that was your
shots. Now, a lot of guys don't get to see much pictures from me because I usually don't put out a lot of the pictures that I shoot. I'll take a couple of pictures and I'll maybe put out 1 or 2 from the area that I'll put a video out from. But I sat there, I must have snapped off more than 15, 20 shots. On the cliffside, some of those homes up there on the up on the cliff, or should I say up on the mountain. You know, that was the best part of it.
Okay, well, I have while you were talking, I had a video set up, and I will also, since I asked you guys, Michael Blade says his best part about that whole thing was actually meeting all of you guys and gals. He really enjoyed that part of the meetup. Yeah. And I must say that was key to it because I've been flying and Herman and we were discussing so much in the car up there. It's like, no one said, are we there yet? Because it's like, we knew how long it would take, but Herman and I were discussing, Herman's coming up on, he's been flying drones for 5 years now.
Ooh,
And
almost.
it didn't dawn on me until he said he's
Almost.
coming up on 5 years. But it didn't dawn on me, Herman, until you said it.
This
But
Christmas, this
right.
Christmas will be 5 years.
But when you said that, I was like, holy crap, because I was flying a year before you. So
Yeah, this
I'm
Christmas.
actually coming up. Wait a minute. This Christmas
Because
for you, this October for me will be 6 year anniversary flying
yeah,
drones.
because if you remember, Jalen had asked me to get him the drone for Christmas. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
get you a drone. I want a drone. And I ended up getting the two drones, and it was me and him in the cold park until I met Elliot. And then through Elliot, that's how I met you.
Right.
Because Elliot was the one that put me on the 5 boroughs. And he told me, he's like, yeah, you're going to go down to the meetup. There's this big, tall guy, Lawrence. He runs the whole thing.
Which was lies, but that was his impression.
Well, that was his observation of it,
Right.
that you
Right,
ran the
right,
group.
they're right. Because when he had just recently joined the group before you,
Okay.
and the social part is always the best part. But my favorite, getting back to favorite parts of the
Yeah, it
weekend.
was. That's why I said there was two parts for me that was great. Was that the park, because I wanted to fly, and I saw the park when we got up there, and
Hey, Matt.
I looked at the park on Google Maps, and I wanted to fly. But then when I
Right.
got there and started talking with the guys, it was like one conversation here, and that conversation carried to another conversation, and the wave just kept going and going. And I really pulled the drone out just before, like I said, Billy and Ken got there, and I didn't put the drone up until, and talking about that, Ken, if you can hear me, I'm gonna get you for that. I'm gonna get you for that.
Ken Dono.
I'm gonna get you
Yes.
for that.
I saw that.
I'm gonna get you for that. I'm standing there. I'm paying attention to what's going on with my drone, and I can hear the drone coming, and I'm like, where the hell is this drone? And I'm like, and I feel something whiz by. I felt like it scraped the back of my legs. I'm gonna get you
That
for
was
that. I'm
that
gonna
was
get you
Ken
for that.
Dono. Hey, Rhode and drone guy, what's up, bro?
All
How
I
are you?
hear is, all I heard was, don't move, and the
That was
drone
Ken
just
Dono.
whizzed right by my legs.
But I was out there on the platform on the deck where they were flying from, and Ken Dono said, "Watch this," and we didn't know what he was going to do, so he took off, and we saw him heading down the pathway that's going onto the boardwalk, and then he yelled, "Don't move!" And he said, watch this," and that's when he brushed by you. But it was mad fun. But my second favorite part was flying from those cliffs.
I'm gonna tell
If
you
you
this much:
remember,
the wind off of those propellers,
yeah.
they make your drawers wiggle.
Hey, Sean, how are you? Well, we are not doing, yes, Ken original Dobo. He had a ball there. He thought it was funny because I don't know why, but he decided to mess with Herman because he saw Herman was about to take off. And he just goes, watch this, watch this. He puts his goggles on because Herman was standing off on the side by himself. And it was obvious he was about to fly. Ken Toner just took off. We saw the drone go down the path. And he says, watch this, watch this. Don't move, don't move. And Herman's like, what? Huh? Huh? Like he said, he could hear the drone coming. It was a center whoop that he just did a drive by and brushed by Herman. But had you been standing like most FPV pilots stand, Herman, with your legs spread, he would have flew right through him.
Well, thank God I
Hey,
wasn't,
Gary.
because I didn't know he was coming until I heard it getting closer and closer.
Right. And as you're hearing it get closer and closer, he's telling us, watch this, but Ken Dono, Billy Kyle showed up, and they did get there. They ran into traffic because traffic is crazy getting up there, but they did eventually get there before the meetup ended. And they went and did just like we did, and we greeted everyone and said hello, and they took pictures, and everybody had a great time. Everyone had a really, really nice time. In fact, that Johnny Walker Green, Herman, after I watched Ray Kelly's video, and Ed had posted something about a video he posted. I need to watch that as well. after all of that, I'm going to Original Dobo. I'm flying FPV now, bro. Finally, I'm running good in acro, but have more learned. Take your time, Matty. Take your time, Matt. See, it'll all come. Trust me. Oh, Original Dobo goes lies. We were gambling. He's in the chat. Yo, Ken, when you took off with that Sinwoo, you're like, yo, watch this. And went down that path. I said, now I know he's not going to fly towards Herman. Where's he going? And what did he do? Lawrence is your doorbell. Yes, John, we did have a great meetup. Ken, Original Dobo, thank you for coming by and showing some support to these guys. We had so much fun up there. We just decided to do a live stream.
You know what?
Original. And thank you and Billy Kyle for coming through, because some of those people were starstruck when you guys rolled up in there. Everybody was talking and chatting, and you guys came in. It was like you could hear the crickets, if there were crickets out there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, tell you the truth. Him and Billy are two very good guys, man. You know, Billy invited us out to Philly a couple of times to fly.
Yeah.
And when I was having an issue with my drone, I don't know, something just told me to reach out to Ken and see if there's anything he could do to help me out. And I did, and he did, and the drone got to me.
Which, by the way, drone works. We did give you a shout out, Ken. We gave you a shout out for sponsoring the Rhode Island drone meetup, and what nice job you guys did by sending those 2 Fly More bundles. Yeah. So you guys sponsored Drone Works. Sean, thank you so much. Ken Dobo, thank you for $49.99. This ought to cover some tolls, dude.
That place is Toll City.
Yeah, Geek Spawner, thank you so much, man. We appreciate the super chat. That's all Herman talked about. He's like, yo, get out my pocket, because every few miles you would go through a toll, and Herman's like, wow.
Right on the highway, right in the city area. It's like, yo, what the hell is
Ken, that was so funny. That should cover some tolls, because every time we went through a toll, Herman's like, stop it, get out my pocket, get out my pocket, because that's what it felt like.
See, but that's what they're trying to do here now.
Yeah, I know, put a toll on everything. Yeah, definitely. We appreciate, Ken, seriously, what you did, or what Drone Works did. Serious drone work. I'm not reading the chat. I'm sorry. It's Drone Works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't want to get the wrong name. What you did for this meetup, these guys, they went all out. They treated us so nice our entire time I was there. I wish you and both Billy Kyle had came a lot earlier. Dude.
Well, Lawrence, I got a question.
Yeah.
You got time for me to get my stuff upstairs, and I'm gonna knock off for a second here and get my stuff upstairs.
Yeah. In fact, Ken and everybody who's watching, honestly, Herman dropped me off 35 minutes before live stream, and I was determined to go live. And Herman's just now getting home after he took 5 hours to get me home after it said 3.5, 4. And then it took him maybe another hour to get from here to where he is in Brooklyn. So go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead. To give you some time, because I know you have to unload the truck and everything. Yeah, that's not a problem. I should be able to. I could show some more pictures. Hey, feet on the ground. What's up, Rob? Good morning over in Australia. How are you, Rob? I hope you and Sue are doing fine. And no, I did not get the package. It was stolen. For those of you who don't know, Feet on the Ground Flying is in Australia. I've known him for years. We played Xbox. That's how I actually met him. But last year he sent a care package from Australia to my home, because here in the United States, those of you who know about 3DR Solo and their batteries, the batteries here in the United States are $30, $40. Over in Australia, those same batteries are $150 to $200 because they're not sold there and they have to import them. So what I would do is Rob would send me the money and I would go buy the batteries, or I'd buy the battery and he'd send me the money, and then I would ship it to Australia. And after taking 3.5 weeks of getting to Australia by snail mail, it gets all the way to Australia for them to sit it in customs for another 2 weeks, and then they turn around and send it back to me in the United States. But to make a long story short, that's how he gets a lot of his drone stuff. We're going to hold you to that. What did Matty Boy do? What's up, Aerial Landscapes? I'm sorry, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the chat because I'm still like really exhausted from this weekend. And I need to get some sleep, seriously. But we came home. We knew you guys wanted to hear about it. Ken, if you're still in the chat, Original Dobo, this spot right here, I'm going to try and pull up a picture real quick. But this spot right here, Ken, was the cherry on the top, the last spot that we went to. I have some raw footage that I was showing them just to show how much of a good time I had. And let me see if I can find another picture. Let's see right here. This one right here. I have never flown a cliffside or mountainside before. And someone asked me if I ever had a chance to fly anywhere, where would I fly and why? And this is one of the places that I would love to fly FPV. And Ken, I'm so pissed because people are like, yo, you got to dive it. Because your boys came through and they had their drones and they were diving the cliffs and everything. And when I got there, I felt so sad because I could have had enough time to charge up at least 4 or 5 packs and I could have dived these cliffs as well. So this was the highlight of the entire weekend, to be able to fly cliffs like this. We don't do this here in New York. If you go to my channel and you watch what I do, I fly along the beach and stuff like that. You know, I literally don't, I don't get a chance to fly. Yo, Lawrence, got any old FPV quads you want to sell for a noob? I might be able to help you out. If you're getting into FPV, I might be able to help you out. I might have something because I was seriously thinking about getting rid of a few birds. That's a very strong possibility. But I wanted to give a shout out once again to Mark Fisher, and I'm hoping he watches the recast, if the rebroadcast or replay, whatever you want to call it. We will get the cliffs again, dude. The only thing I have a complaint about, Ken, up there is, and you could tell we weren't from up there because Herman and I wore shorts the whole time. And I did notice and look around, like people have on long pants and it's summer. At nighttime, it gets a little chilly up there. It gets a little nippy. But other than that, I definitely want to fly some FPV from there. That would be worth the trip alone. I would drive 5 hours to burn 12 to 20 packs FPV, even risk losing a few birds. Seriously, I seen your collection. I figure you'd throw it out there. I appreciate it, Aerial Landscapes. And Ken, finally, I got a chance to meet you. I always comment on your videos or laugh when Billy shows something. Like when I saw the picture that Billy Kyle posted of you guys in the drive-through with your skateboards and your Uniwheel or whatever that is, I'm like, they might not make it to the meetup. I know he posted it as it being funny, but I thought it was a funny picture that he posted because I'm like, they stopped at Foxwoods. And if they stop there, there's so much room between there and here, they might not make it. But thank you, and you, Ken, and Billy Kyle for showing that. Made the highlight of a lot of guys there. I mean, you guys may be used to it and hearing out of the corner of your ear, yo, that's Ken. There's Billy Kyle. Yeah, see, Billy, you know what? You two guys need to do a freaking comedy act or something, or just record, because you guys are like Laurel and Hardy, seriously. You're mad funny. You get along. You have that same chemistry that Herman and I have. You know, you could take the worst of something and make the best of it. You know, and Billy, I hadn't seen you in so long. Trust me, we will get together for that 9/11 event. I'm going to make that happen. Drive through. We were trying to make it to spin up this year. We might do it last minute, but I haven't flown down in Tampa. I'm quite sure you could show us some places. And Billy has come to New York. And since I've met Billy Kyle about 2 or 3 years ago, yes, it's been that long, Billy. It's been about 2 or 3 years. Remember Elliot? We used to come down there. If I can go back through my videos and look, I probably about 2.5, 3, maybe 3.5 years pushing it when we first met. But I've been telling you, when you come through New York, stop by and see me. And I know you're a busy person. You do go from Philly to Boston and back and forth, and then you have personal work and stuff like that. Trust me, if you come and fly with me and Herman, we'll show you some spots that a lot of these people around here don't want to show you because they want to keep it to themselves. Mike B, aka Drone Ranger, what's good? I once again apologize if I'm pronouncing things wrong and I am sleep deprived. I just finished drinking a Modelo. This show is not sponsored by them, but in case they try to hit me with stupid copyright or something like that, I could say, Ray Kelly, we all had a ball up there, and we need to definitely go up there again. Mark Fisher, you had a great meetup. It's one of the best meetups I've had. I've been flying this October, be 6 years I've been flying drones. And out of all those years, this meetup this weekend is in my top 3. Definitely. I can't say anything else. I mean, Herman's going upstairs. This is raw, untouched footage. I am going to touch it up, of course, in a photo editor, but I wanted you guys to see I have never been able to do this. And when I mean do this, fly a cliff like this, a cliffside. These guys were diving at FPV, and that's a bucket list thing for me, to be able to fly an area like this FPV, because I do a lot of FPV cruising. I don't do all the flips and tricks and stuff like that. Third Eye, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. There's a start saving for Spin Up 2021. See you in Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas. Dude, if it was anything like this weekend in Rhode Island, and keep in mind, I've never been to Rhode Island before. Never been there. I've always thought about it. I will say the only disappointment to being up there was where we did not see one seafood place. I'm like, people are on the water. They have all these boats and yachts and stuff like that. And that was my only disappointment. But this is, like I said, this is raw footage. I haven't colored it or anything like that. So I'm dying to get off of here. Like I said, Herman hit me off with some Johnny Walker Green. That's what we were drinking while we were up there after the end of the day. And I'm going to watch a couple of YouTube videos and definitely get to editing. Tomorrow I have an FPV video coming out. Those of you who know me, I do not do no flips. I may do a power dive or something like that every now and then. Yes, I know I need to learn some tricks. Novice, Ken and Billy used to do a show called Flight Time. I do remember that. Y'all had a nice location. Angie, nice is an understatement. For somebody who's used to diving buildings and flying along the beach, when you see a cliffside like that, you don't want to leave there. Hey, show, a lot of rock and a lot of, I can't see, a lot of rock and a lot of Chrysler. A lot of Jeeps in Rhode Island. Stop it, show. Well, there's plenty of them here, Lawrence. You just have to look for them. Dude, I was mad I didn't have my FPV birds there. Seriously, I had fun flying them at the meetup earlier in the day, but I'm disappointed. I definitely have to go back, Ken and Billy. We have to get back up there in Rhode Island and fly the hell out of it. But I got a shitload of footage, though. I will admit, I do have a shitload of footage. And Mark Fisher, you guys, I salute you. You gave a hell of a meetup the entire time that we were there. Herman and I mentioned earlier, got there Friday afternoon. And immediately when we got there, on the way there, before we even got to the hotel, because the meetup was in Rhode Island. We stayed across the border in Massachusetts, because the closer you got to Rhode Island or in Providence, to downtown Providence or that particular area, the higher the hotel rates. They were high. And we found out just across the border, we could ride two or three blocks and we were back in Rhode Island again. The hotels were cheaper. So that's what we did. Ray Kelly, you need to come back up there with us. I was hoping Mark Fisher, I posted the link to this live stream in the Rhode Island drone meetup group. And I was hoping that Mark Fisher or a few guys from there would have came in, but I'm sure they'll click on the link and watch the replay. For those of you who haven't done it, click the like button. You know the routine. Once again, Billy, Kyle, Ken, Original Dobo, thanks for coming through. Now I know how I looked when I met you guys, because when you guys showed up at that meetup, you're like, it's them. It's them. They did come. And it was like the people that they were hearing angels sing, and you guys were walking in with the halo lights over you and shit. Thanks for coming. Oh, well, time to go now. Good day, all. JC Flying, thanks for coming and showing support. Mark is doing a wedding. Okay. Billy and Ken, if you're still in here, what was the name of the gentleman that you guys are flying with when we got there? Not Eddie Nunez, we know him. The other guy that had the t-shirt on who came to the meetup earlier. I cannot remember his name because it's hard to remember over 60 people's names. And I told everybody when I greet them, I'm not going to remember your damn name. So if you see me and I just go, hey, what's up? Don't get insulted. That gentleman that was there flying with us at the cliffs, we sat and we talked, and he got to experience his first time FPV. And Mark Fisher commented on your post, Rhode Island meetup. All right, hold on. Let me see what he posted there, because I did post a link here. Oh, Mark Fisher's actually at a wedding right now. Someone did post that. Wish I could listen. Errands. I just put this real quick. Post. We, hold on, can watch a replay later. Yeah, I'm subscription whoring. I will admit, at that meetup, Herman and I made so many contacts. There's a guy that I want to shout out also. He said, my name is Dronalist. Those of you who search, if you search YouTube, there's a guy here in New York called Dronalist. And when each time he said, my name is Dronalist, people went, Dronalist from New York? This guy flies New York City, Manhattan on a frequent. And his flights almost look like New York commercials. And we were like, you're a dronalist? And he goes, no, I'm Northeast dronalist. But I liked his name. So I just took the name, and I live in New England dronalist. And he said, I live in New England. So I just put the NE dronalist. John Bonifant, how are you? And welcome to the live stream. If you were at the meetup yesterday and you met any of us, please put a 1 so I know who you are. We are getting a few extra people that we have not seen before in the chat. Please forgive me if I don't remember your entire name, but I met a lot of fucking people this weekend and had a ball. I can curse on my own live stream. Fuckity fuck, the fuckery. My nephew goes the language. I know I'm not going to get a, if I, huh? Captain America reference. Oh, he just went Captain America on me. When they curse in front of Captain America, he goes, language. I can't believe you did that. But anyway, Herman, come on back, man. John, what's the name of NE Dronalist? Oh, that you can watch in New York. It's called DRO Dronalist, I believe is his name. If you type that in YouTube, you'll see videos of New York and Manhattan. This guy's editing skills are phenomenal. Till this day, I don't know. I honestly don't believe he's flying illegally, because he has shots that are better than being in a helicopter. We hope to see you in Florida next April for the second annual South Florida drone meetup. Matt Cundiff, if those guys can get down there to Florida, definitely. New York Drone Life with Lawrence. Hey, Bill, what's up? Bill, coast to coast. Anyway, I'm babbling on because I'm actually killing time. The show just goes my ears. I forget about the delay. I'm babbling a little bit. to kill some time because Herman just got home from our trip after driving me for 5 hours and then had to drive home for an hour. And then he still had to unload the car by himself and he's walking with a cane. So we just give him a little, no, Herman ain't fall asleep, Michael Blades, trust me. We almost did. I'm pumped up on caffeine and I don't drink coffee. I've had coffee from IHOP this morning. We went through a freaking container of that. There he is, coffee from IHOP. And then, we had to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and I had another iced coffee or something to that effect. And I don't drink coffee, guys. So maybe that's where I got the energy from. But when that shit crashes, when that caffeine goes down, I'm going down like a World War II plane in the ocean. Herman, what's good, man?
I'm here.
Thank you. I was just trying to remember the gentleman's name who was on the mountain with us when we left. Ray Kelly, thank you. I just want the guys in Rhode Island drone, I can't remember, Rhode Island drone meetup group. I'm starting to get delirious, guys. That might actually be a little fun, but I need some freaking sleep. You made it upstairs or did you leave everything in the truck and you're going to get it in the morning?
No, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All your birds are down there. Yeah.
I can't do that. I brought everything up.
Okay, cool.
Who's in the chat? Who's in the
chat? Ray Kelly. I think Ken and Billy Kyle is still here, I think.
Okay.
If not, I'm sure there's a few people lurking. We always get lurkers. Don't be afraid to come in. We don't bite. You may get cursed out, but we don't bite. Active people in the chat: Show, Bill Coast to Coast, Drone Bum, Drone Shots, John, Bonifant. Excuse me if I said it wrong. Maddie, Matt C, Michael Blades, who I finally got to meet personally yesterday, and we flew FPV together yesterday, and we talked about it. Ray Kelly and Third Eye View. And then everyone else is lurking. So now think about it. I just mentioned how many people, and this is how you know you got lurkers, but we love lurkers and we welcome them too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, you're in there now. You don't count. 9. There are 9 people active in the chat, and we appreciate you for not being scared to come up in here. But we have 25 concurrent viewers, and we appreciate you guys who are lurking as well. Whether you're here to like us or hate us, we still appreciate you.
All right.
Herman.
Yeah, this weekend was a blast, man.
Thank you, Iceberg. I'm sorry. I cannot forget Iceberg. He's a new supporter. What were you saying?
This weekend was a blast. It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was long, not enough sleep. But who wanted to sleep? We wanted to fly.
This is true. This is very, very true. And we got a chance to fly. I left 20 minutes ago, Brant area. Well, you're back now, dude. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
And I happen to know there are people who actually wait for the live stream to end because they can't come in the beginning. And I'm sorry. I just drank a beer and now it's starting to come back on me. I apologize for having to insert this ad. For those of you who are about to see this ad, it's not me, it's YouTube. Where is the link? Ray Kelly, you want to come up in here, man? I'll send you a link, dude. I'll send you a link on Messenger if you got a minute to kill. Ray Kelly, Captain Ray Kelly, you're one of those guys, just like Billy and Ken. You haven't been on here, man. We need to get you on here. The way you can become one of those guys, Ken, is just come on for about 5 minutes. And talk shit with us. Ask Billy Kyle. It's not hard. One day we would like to have you on here. In fact, we're starting to think about changing the format a little. Instead of doing always drone news and what's happening and going squirrel, to start interviewing people on a regular again. But people that you don't see regularly. Hey, Fly Guy Merrill. Ray Kelly, if you want to come in here, give me a second. I'll go to Messenger and I'll send you an invite. What happened?
Ray's coming in?
He said send a link, or where's the link? So I'll just send him one.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know what he's talking about because I'm half delirious from being tired. I was explaining, Herman, that I don't drink coffee, right? And the way you can tell I don't drink coffee is because if you usually see me on the live stream, I'm usually talking like this and laid back, and I've been going a mile a fucking minute, yo. But when the coffee and everything, the adrenaline slows down, I'm going down like a World War II plane.
Maybe not.
You know what? I may get off of here and hang out because I so want to just look at this footage that I got finally, and I can look at it on this monitor here in front of me. What size is this? On this 50-inch FHD monitor. So I wanted to also point out that any night photos that you see, guys, or night video was my first time using the 2S or attempting to use the 2S seriously at night. And for the first time, I don't think I did too bad.
Okay.
But I just wanted to do this live stream more so to show we made it to Rhode Island.
Make sure
congratulate Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group. Congratulate everyone from New York that supported, everyone from Philly, people from Florida. Ken Dono is originally from Florida. He was there with Billy Kyle. There were people from New England who came. It was a nice meetup.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout. I met a lot of guys in the community. We got to fly. You know, we keep saying that we got to fly, but it's just the hanging out with the guys. You know, is the best part of it. You know, getting to talk.
That definitely was.
Guys that didn't know you exist, and some guys that you didn't know knew you exist.
Well, can I interrupt really quick? There's an FPV pilot up there in Rhode Island or from New England. I don't know where Shooter FPV is from, but I got to meet him yesterday, and he goes, "Oh, I have a YouTube channel, you know, Shooter FPV," and I'm like, he's like, "I'm a teacher or something affiliated with school, and I take my drones with me to work, and I go fly behind the building." I said, "You go fly behind the school? You always go out on your lunch break or something to fly?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I know you." He says, "Oh, wow, I'm famous." I'm like, "Dude, everybody's famous if you think about it. I've been watching your videos for a while." And he said, "Well, who are you?" And I'm like, I left a few comments on your page, Novice Quads, or my name is Lawrence. He's like, "I know that name." He says, "I've seen a couple of your videos." I go, "Hey, I'm famous." You know, it was that kind of relationship yesterday. You met people who had YouTube channels. You met people that didn't. You met people that just love to fly drones. Right?
Yeah, well, you know, truthfully, you mentioned it earlier about the meetup, and I was just really glad to see that the two guys that won the drones were guys that didn't have one.
Exactly. And that's what made the giveaways and everything. I mean, I won Ray Kelly. Wait a minute. I said I was sending Ray Kelly an invite, dude. And I went squirrel. Oh, I did send it. See, guys, I'm going through delirium. I'm going through delirium. I apologize. I'm like, wait a minute. Ray Kelly said he's coming in. But Ray, I sent it through Messenger. Classic. Ron, he was up there, another supporter from New York City. Evening all, had a great time at the Rhode Island meetup.
Did we?
I was a little jealous because Ron got there a little early, and the first picture he sends me is a picture of this train trestle that's in the upwards position, because I'm used to New York, you're used to swinging bridges and dual opening bridges, and only in New Jersey you could see those bridges that raise up from one end with the weights at the end of them. And he sent a picture and he's like, "Yo, check this out." I'm like, damn, Ron's there already.
It's funny you mentioned that, but some of them actually open and close in different ways. Some of them, the whole bed goes up. Some it splits the bed open. And then like over by you where they swing the bed sideways.
Right. Good, Herman. Can I show you something? And everybody in the chat, to show how much I was rushing for the live stream. I have shorts on with little pants pockets on the side along the legs. My pockets have a GoPro, sanitizer, a mask, a tissue, my registrations, gum, money, an inhaler. That I'm like, why are my pockets so freaking full? It's because I got all this shit in it. But now I finally get to empty them all. I was telling you, Ron said that he had hell getting home because he had left after the meetup. And he said it took like 3.5, 4 hours to get home. And then he still had to drive home. Ed's seen all of them here in Florida. And he had to drive home locally in the streets. What happened, Ron? Did you have trouble going home through Connecticut?
Connecticut traffic.
Yeah. When did you have to hit the local traffic, Classic or Ron? Because that's what was confusing me. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Better prayers. That's right, Ed. Don't worry about trying to stay vertical. Get healthy first, and then you can stand up. Seriously, feel better, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, feel better.
I've said it over and over again. If you're coming in the middle of the live stream, you got to watch it from the beginning to end. Once again, big shout out to the Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group. They had a phenomenal meetup. I will repeat it over and over. I'm going to give a shout out and support to Mark Fisher.
Mark, when's the next one?
Michael Blade. Yeah, when's the next one, dude? Michael Blades also had a part to doing it because Mark Fisher was explaining while they were doing the giveaway. He says Michael Blades was like, you know what? Why don't you have a meetup? And Mark Fisher didn't think he could do it, but Michael Blades FPV, if you encouraged him to do that, ask when the next one's coming up, because I need an excuse to get back up to Rhode Island to dive those cliffs FPV. I flew camera drone. It's FPV. I'm willing to lose a bird.
He's going to need that big case.
Herman, I'm willing to lose a bird against the rocks. Dead ass. I'm willing. Just traffic in Connecticut, Route 1, all the way down I-95. Yeah, we ran into traffic in Connecticut going up there, and we ran into traffic coming back. And I did notice, Herman and I did notice one thing, Herman, right, about Connecticut. They don't have real rest stops. Their rest stops.
They did. Most of them was a small joints.
Yeah. They look like tourists. They look like you go in and ask for a map. You know, like back in the day, you used to get the big paper map that you stretch out. That's what they look like. And buy a candy bar and a coffee and get gas and get the hell out of there.
Candy bar.
It was epic, Michael Blades. I make sure, Michael, I know you're in touch with Mark Fisher. Make sure that you get him this link and tell him to watch this live stream, because we have to give a shout out to him. Now, of course, Herman, a lot of people up there were also asking, when are we going to have one so they can come down here?
What?
A meetup.
Well, we recently had one. You saying we should have another one?
Well, it may be too soon. A lot of people are still tired from this one. But September, if we could try and plan something towards the end of September, maybe early October, while the weather's still, maybe you can wear a windbreaker or something, maybe we could get away with it. But I still think that's even too close.
What?
Because I want to give people a chance to save up some money and fly. Even though we fly all year round here, Herman, some people may not want to travel when it's cold. That's all I'm saying.
I expect that, but as far as that big, large turnout, you only have like a few weeks or a month left to have.
Right. And that's too soon to plan something so large.
You know, like to that magnitude, or like, well, even what we did the last time, it could be done, but it's easier with local guys.
But when you want to plan something where people come and visit from out of state, they want to make hotel accommodations or whatever, because Northeast Dronalist, he was so nice. He introduced us to his fiance when we were at the cliffs flying, and he was like, yo, when you guys have a meetup, let me know, I'll come down.
Well, you know, here in New York, we have like 3 to 4 different types of hotels. You know, we have
oh yeah, we do.
We have the bag up spots, and you know, and those places are somewhat pricey, but are dumps. And then we have the pricey ones, and then we have the expensive ones,
Right.
you know, and some of those won't leave people in any close proximity to any of the places that we might be flying. So it's like trying to, you know, steer guys that are not familiar with the town to places where they can get hotel rooms if they need to. Like how when
Right.
I went up to Rhode Island, you know, finding hotels is a little easier than finding a hotel here. I mean, we got
Yeah.
law, but it's what you're going to pay for what you're going to get, where you're going to be.
No, I get it. I get it. And like you're saying, with the hotel game in New York, they have hotels for the tourists. Can I get Zoom? Ray Kelly, I sent it to you in Messenger. I am technically challenged. Can I get on Zoom? Yes, I sent you a link. Just click that link, dude. Ray Kelly, come on in, man. I want you to talk about your time there. Anyone who wants to come into the chat that was at the meetup, if you're watching the replay, this doesn't include you. I excuse the delirium. I can talk shit. We did a lot this weekend, okay? But if you are in the chat and you're lurking and want to come in and on the panel real quick, and talk about Michael Blades, even you, man, if you want to get on, come on. I'll post a video soon. You see, he's delirious too. He's got typos. I'll post a video soon. But I know what you meant. I'm just messing with you because me and Herman were going stir crazy driving back. Excuse me.
Well,
driving back to the city.
I was good. It's just that when you get those, see, the only thing I'm not good with on the road, I'm not good with those guys that need to leave 20 car lengths in between their car.
Here comes Ray.
In front of them. Because
Right.
the one thing that I do know and understand about a traffic jam is that when everybody goes to their brakes and everybody comes to a stop, it's 2 seconds between you and the next guy once they take their foot off.
Hold on, Herman. Ray, you have to mute the stream, and then you should be good. If you have the stream open to see the chat, you just have to mute it. How can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on. There you go. Captain Ray Kelly. I'm sorry, we don't have sound effects, Ray. Not yet. Not yet. So, what were you saying, Herman?
Hey.
Traffic.
How you doing? How you guys doing? I tell you,
we're good.
That Rhode Island drone meetup was first class all the way.
I feel like I went to a rock concert and I'm still drunk. That's how nice it was, man. So I can't explain it.
It was great seeing you. You got those guys, you guys.
Ray, you're one of those guys, though. That's the only prerequisite, Ray, to becoming one of those guys is you have to come on a panel. And once you come on a panel, you're officially one of those guys.
I appreciate that, you know, and I feel honored to be part of those guys, you know. But, you know, wasn't it a great day? I mean, just weather-wise.
Phenomenal.
And you get to meet the new people, the old people.
It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold.
Family members, right? People brought their family out there.
Cool breeze.
And you even fly drones, you know, which is a great thing.
Drone Bum show. And Gary said, hey, what's up, Ray? I don't know if you can see the chat, but I tend to read the chat really quick and glance over. But yeah. Ray, I asked Herman this and I asked Michael Blades this. What did you enjoy about that meetup so much that made your weekend?
Well, again, you know, most people say this, but I really mean it, you know, meeting everybody and meeting the new people, you know. I get so excited for these meetups, whether it's, you know, 3 or 4 guys, 5 guys, but to have a crowd like this was amazing, you know. I mean, 50 plus, you know, pilots and family and friends. And, you know, I couldn't wait to get home to start editing that video.
I know. And think about this, while you were on your way home, Herman and I went back to the hotel, passed out for about an hour or 2 while still charging batteries. Right, Herman? Yeah. Passed out for an hour or 2 because keep in mind, Ray, we got there Friday afternoon and Friday evening, then we went to dinner. And then after dinner, we went out flying.
I know. You guys were having a good time. You got a lot of flying in.
But our first night there, Ray, and I usually go to bed. I'm used to going to bed 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock during the week regularly. We didn't go to sleep till 3 in the morning. And then I turned around and woke up at 5:45, and Herman woke up an hour after that. And we were running the whole day. So during the meetup, and then after the meetup, we went home and passed out, like I said, for a couple of hours. And then we went back out to fly.
Yeah, because I had thought you said you were going to be leaving to go back.
No, we were leaving to go to. We were leaving to go to the hotel to rest.
I got you.
Yeah. Because we said that we're not going to go and stay the whole day up there and then try to drive back. We could end up in.
Can you guys, hey, drone views, can you guys excuse me for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Okay.
I got to pay the water bill.
People on the side of the.
It's one of those things where I had a ball. You know, I look forward to it. You know, you were the first guy I really met, Herman. You know, I pulled up and there you were.
Because I went back to the parking lot to get my camera and get going because I started talking. And, you know, if you're going to talk, you might as well get the camera on.
I know. I tell you. And it's amazing. It really is. And not that it's all about giveaways, but, man, they had some nice giveaways.
Yeah, they
and I was glad to see the people win the giveaways, you know?
Yeah, they gave away like 20 t-shirts, didn't they? They gave out these bags from Autel.
Yeah.
And actually one of the guys that won the bag from Autel, he didn't want the bag. So he was asking everybody if they wanted it. And I was looking at the bag and I was just talking to Rob, and I was like, Rob, that bag is a nice little bag. I can get all my stuff in there, all my cables, all little knickknacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the guy, I don't know, he made eye contact with me. He was like, you want the bag? I was like, I'll take the bag.
Yeah, man. That is nice. Look at that.
I have everything in this bag.
Very, very cool. That is nice. You know,
everything in there.
Yeah.
And I got the little tripod stuck to the back.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, Mark Fisher and Michael Blade and the rest of the helpers, and I can't say enough about them, you know. And the lanyard, you know, they were
where's my damn land? Oh, my land, they did it up from the time we got there the day before up until last night, Ray. We had a ball, and I know you did because you were all over the place.
Yeah, you know, I try to, you know, make it a point to meet everybody, at least say hello, introduce myself, you know. And you know what I like, Lawrence and Herman? I like to see the kids there, and there were a few kids there too.
Yes, there were entire families, exactly. And what was cool about it was not only that they were giving away stuff, but I met over 60 people. I can't remember anybody's name except for one or two people, but it's like I said earlier in the live stream before you came on, I've been flying this October, be 6 years, drones, and this meetup is in my top 3.
Yep.
Meetup in 6 years, dude. The love and that everyone did. I was mentioning, I don't know if you heard before you came in, but I mentioned to Herman, and Herman did the same thing. I didn't know he did it, but we went and shook hands or bumped fists with everybody there. If the guy, drone pilot, was there with his wife, I bumped fists or I shook her hand softly. Now, my name is Lawrence. Pleasure to meet you. And that's what it was all about, right, Ray?
Yeah, no, it was.
You know what it was? A lot of guys from up there in Rhode Island are just really, you know, cool dudes. They wanted to, you know, they just wanted to meet the new faces.
Other drone pilots like we did.
Some of them did. Those to me right away. Matter of fact, it was just a good time, man. It's just like you can sit here and give it a number, 101 words to explain it. But it was just a damn good time.
There was no negativity, nobody.
None whatsoever. It was just a good time.
You know, you guys are going to get a kick out of this, but, you know, I was enjoying this live stream, but dinner, was made. So my wife says, "Come on, dinner's ready." I don't think you guys heard that, but
No,
she
no.
says, "If you want, bring it and put it on the table," because she was listening
Oh,
to
get
the
out
whole
of here. That's
conversation. So you guys
Mrs.
are on the
Kelly.
table while we were eating dinner.
Mrs. Kelly, if you're within listening range, thank you for letting Ray come out and play with us. Thank you so much. But
And I'm going to add, I had my wife's famous chili. That's what she made today, chili.
Okay. All right. And Ray, I want to point out something. Thank you also. And I'm sure Mark Fisher thanked you also, but thank you for donating shirts to give away, because I actually won one of your shirts. And what I did was what I did was it wasn't my size. And I was like, you know what? I saw guys like, okay, he wears a large, because if I put on a large, it's going to look like a bikini. Okay, so I saw a gentleman who was just walking randomly, and I said, "Here, this looks like it fits you." And he's like, "You're giving it to me?" I'm like, "Dude, if I put it on, I won't be able to take it off."
That was
And
nice.
he was like, "Yo, I just started watching their show, and now I got one of the T-shirts, and I didn't have to pay for it." I said, "Well, if you didn't come to the meetup, you might have had to," jokingly. But he laughed and he thanked me. He laughed and he thanked me, and he went away. What happened, Herman?
The cream puffs, right? You make the dough first and then put the cream in it.
I know. I love bringing those little mini cream puffs, and when I think of it, I do bring them to different events. And they're addicting. They're addicting, those cream puffs.
I can't see the guys. I can't see the chat, but Ray, I want to show you why I'm dying to get off of here and just sit down and drink some good scotch and do some editing. I'm gonna watch your video. If you haven't watched Ray Kelly's video, he put out a video from the meetup yesterday. Go check it out. There's one or two other people who posted, but Ray, I want to show you my first experience in Rhode Island. Now, keep in mind, this is raw, untouched footage. I haven't edited it yet. I haven't color graded or anything, but this was my first night in Rhode Island. And I had never flew an Air 2S at night seriously before. Now, I don't know if you can see this picture, but this is the State House.
That's an awesome picture.
It'll come up in a few seconds, I think, for you guys that are in the chat. But this is the State House. Ray, my goodness.
I know.
When I saw this stuff in the Air 2S, I did a time lapse. I did a long exposure and didn't even know these streaks in the cars. I couldn't see this when I looked at the photo on my laptop.
Amazing.
If I had the shutter open a little at a different setting, I could have stretched these streaks. But these are the photos that I have been dying to try and do. This is a video. Now keep in mind, I need to color edit, but this is another picture here. The state building. I'm trying to get here. This is Ray. You see this here, man?
Beautiful.
And I haven't even done anything to the picture yet. This is raw, straight out the 2S.
The Air 2S, man, is a great drone. I don't care what anybody says. It's a great drone.
Now, this here is video footage. Now, it's still unedited. That's nice. I'm going to go crazy this week.
And look at that flashing light out there, the red light.
Yes. This was our first night there. And this would explain why I freaking went to sleep at 3 a.m. We went to sleep at 3 a.m. after driving 5 hours and being out there. It started out great.
Very nice.
Great. Michael Blade says, I do a lot of long exposure shots with my Mavic 2 Pro, and it looks incredible from that place. Well, we took off from a place, Ray, so when you go back, you have to get there. We took off from a place called Prospect Terrace, and it's a ledge that's maybe up about 200 or 300 feet, and it overlooks the city of Rhode Island.
Nice.
And that's all I'm going to say. You have to. Yeah. I'll refrain from New York cream puff joke. Paul, drone bum.
Yeah, like Akarasho says, it's that 1-inch sensor, man. Yep.
Yes. Now, I had been trying to take pictures with the Air 2S at night, but I just never seriously sat down and attempted it. And this night, I told myself, with this view, you better not mess up. You better not mess up. And I was happy with what I saw on the screen. And when I was happy with it, I snapped a picture. Oh, that's
Yeah.
the city of Providence. Michael Blades, I've been to so many damn places this week, and the whole fucking place is named Providence. And that's including Massachusetts, where we were. That's Seekonk. We were staying in Seekonk. No disrespect to Providence or anything. I need to refrain from that. But I'm glad, Ray, you came. Thank you for also being a supporter of New York City. Nonetheless, those guys.
Right. You know, it was just all around.
Well, I'll tell you, I went by that park many times on 95 because I got family up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, and we used to do that trip 4 or 5 times a year and go right up 95, past that park. And, you don't realize such a beautiful park is down there.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I actually, what's that, Herman?
No, I'm just seconding what he's saying. I said, yes, it is. And there was a few other places that I thought was pretty nice too. There was another park. What was that one? Orange, was that was it Indian Point Park?
Indian Point Park. It was across the water, Ray, from where we had the meetup.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was another park, a beautiful park across the water where we had the meetup, and we were originally planning on going back there, right, Herman?
Yes, but time wouldn't let it happen.
Oh, yeah. Ray, hold on. This one is a little overexposed, but like I said, it's raw and unedited. But once you took off from this ledge, Ray, if you went out 50 to 100 feet and looked straight down, this is what you would see. Straight down.
Wow. Look at that.
Yes. Excuse the blown out part here. Like I said, I haven't color edited, turned down highlights and stuff like this. This is raw footage. And I don't usually look down, and something said, look down. And I said, wow, there's an entire park down there. It looks beautiful. Look at it. And I'm glad I got a shot of it. So in the Freedom Drones page, when they have look down Thursdays or look down Fridays, I'll finally be able to enter my first look down photo.
Well, that's a cool shot. That's for sure. Another good thing about these meetups, I was checking, my, I got notified YouTube. I got some new subscribers today. Yes. Of people I met at the meetup, not that I have a lot of subscribers, but it's nice to see that, and obviously I subscribe to their channel.
This is good. We picked up subscribers as well. I picked up supporters. YouTube has analytics. Do you look at your analytics, Ray?
No, not really. I don't look at it.
Okay, well, you need to, because I'll show you why you look at analytics. And hold on, let me just pull a page up and set it up, and I'll show you why. Because I was not able to promote YouTube and stuff like that. But I've picked up over this weekend, I've picked up 50 to 75 views.
Oh, okay, cool.
Easy. And I can't show you the analytics because for certain reasons, but for certain legal reasons, personally mine. But Michael Blades, I just want to point out, we have to hit up Indian Point Park. Herman and I were going to, but when we looked at the time and they said it would take 3.5, 4 hours, had we went and flew that battery like we planned today, I wouldn't have been back. We wouldn't have been back for the live stream.
No, we would have been still on the road.
Yeah. So Ray Kelly, if you haven't, if you want, you can post a link to your video in the chat there. Guys, check out his experience going to the meetup.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it just was a perfect day, weather-wise, and the people that were there, they even had the local weatherman there from TV,
Yes, but the local weatherman was also an Ortel representative part-time.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't realize he was.
Yes, that was an Ortel. He was a representative from Ortel when we got all the lanyards and they gave out the Ortel pens which by the way,
Oh.
DJI, I don't have one of your pens, but I digress. Anything Autel, the Autel bags that were given away, they
Yep.
had Autel as a sponsor, and then they had Ken Original Dobo's Drone Works
Yeah.
business
Mhm.
there as sponsor. In fact, if you look at your card, they had a series of sponsors. People donated stuff for a great event, and I thought it was so nice.
T-shirts.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
Michael Blade says it was a great video, but put the link in the chat if you want, if you have a chance to. And I appreciate you coming in, Ray. But I'm starting to wind down. I think the
Yeah.
coffee's wearing off or something. Yeah, I'm lying. I just want to get to my video footage.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You guys are a highlight for me. When I
Oh,
go
yes,
up
he
there,
is a
and
local
I'm not just
weatherman.
saying it because it's your live stream. Believe me, I'd just keep my mouth shut if I didn't like you.
No, understandable. We appreciate it.
But
Oh.
I was so glad that you guys were there. And you could go right down the list. Because there's so many people that I know now. Personally.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
did you get a chance to meet Billy Kyle?
You turn
Oh,
around,
wait,
Eddie Dudez is there.
I think Billy Kyle and Ken came after you left, right? Did you get a chance to meet them?
No, they were there. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you did get a chance to meet them.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
cool,
were
cool.
there. Yeah.
Also, one thing,
bridge there. When we were out in what was that little thing out that we walk out on that?
Yeah, the little deck.
The
we
pier.
took a picture at. We were out
Yeah.
over there. I was out there with Captain Ray and Billy.
Okay. I just wanted to show how much
good.
support they got and how many people came through. There were YouTube channels that I've known people that I'd never thought I would meet, and then there were YouTube channels of people just starting out, like NE Dronalist, New England Dronalist. He was saying, I just started my channel. I'm putting out a video on Monday. Please come by and check it out. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. Ray, he had so much fun at the meetup. Somehow, I guess he found out that we were in Jamestown at the fort, at the Weatherman Fort. Oh, the weather fort. I saw the word Weatherman. The weather fort, that he came with his fiance.
Oh,
and
nice.
I had just finished flying. Had just finished burning my second battery, and Herman and Deneen and a few people, Ken Adobo, and them were on the other side of this cliff we were flying from. And he came up and he's like, honey, I met this gentleman at the meetup early. He's really nice. Could you please show her the video footage that you got of the city last night? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I pulled up a video and I just showed him, and she was like,
wow.
You were flying in the city? She was like, wow, it's beautiful. And when you hear stuff like that, it makes you smile, Ray, right?
Oh, it definitely
right, Herman?
does.
It makes you smile when people compliment something you've done. Fort Weatherall, Michael, I can't even remember half the people's names as well as mine.
Yeah, I didn't
Meetups
realize
are always
there's
great.
a fort there. Fort. I love forts too.
Yo,
Yeah.
Ray, you have to go back. We have to go back. There's so much more there. And I agree with you, Matt Cundiff. Meetups are always great, because the community is full of amazing freaking people.
Let me ask you guys a question. Now, air map, right? Air map.
Hey, Chris.
It gives you the circle, and when it says 0 altitude, you cannot fly there, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So anyway, you know that I had left a little early, not early, but the thing was, ended, but I left.
Right.
And I went down to look at the tall ships that were at New London. I was going to fly these tall ships. I hadn't checked the air map yet. So I get down there and the circle is there and it's 0 altitude.
Okay,
So
where were you? Where were you? And I'm only asking because if you remember at the meetup, if you're looking out at the water straight, to your right, they had the wind turbines, the 3-4 wind turbines to the right.
Yeah.
And there was a ship there. And I tried to get to that ship. And just as I got just before the wind turbines, it said you're about to enter something zone. And my drone stopped. Now I'm used to that flying here in New York, which means your drone will stop and you're supposed to turn back. So I was like, wait a minute. something's wrong. Maybe a bird flew by and a sensor made the
Right.
brake come on. So I pressed forward, and as I went maybe about 5 feet forward, the video started going like this. So I said, you know what, that isn't a flight zone where you're not supposed to fly. And I backed out, and my video came back, and I turned around and I came on back to us. But AirMap, AirMap is very good for that simple reason. It will tell you what altitude. Like I live near Kennedy, south of Kennedy JFK International Airport, and it'll tell me generally if the planes aren't taking off over the peninsula, there's a 400-foot ceiling. But if you come out here to visit me and planes are flying overhead, AirMap will tell you that that ceiling is now 200 feet or 100 feet. So it's a very important app that you should use. I use it just for that reason, but I use before you fly for authorization. This way, if someone comes up to you and says you have no right flying here, you can show them, look, calm down.
Show it to them.
Calm down, Karen or Ken. No offense, Ken Dovo. That I have authorization to fly here. Now, you can tell me that I can't fly here if I'm on your property. But if you have authorization to fly, the cops or whoever's harassing you tend to calm down.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
but listen, anyway, it wasn't a totally worthless trip because I got to go on board the one ship, the 295-foot U.S. Coast Guard ship, the Eagle. It's the biggest four-masted sailing ship. I don't know about the world, but in the country anyway.
Okay.
And then the other ship that Mark Fisher was telling us about, and he had filmed it about 3-4 weeks ago, was a tall ship called the Peacemaker. That was docked right there also. So I got to see that.
Wow. Where was this at?
New London, right by the ferry dock. Going.
Okay. And we passed through New London coming up. AirMap is great for Lance because it doesn't take you to a third-party app. You get Lance approval. Exactly.
Exactly, Matt. Yeah.
Excuse me a second. I'm trying to put this SD card back in my 2S, and I don't want it to pop out like a spring and lose the memory card.
Yeah.
There it is.
Look at that. It's funny you mentioned that, and my SD card is still in my little adapter.
Put it back in your bird because you'll be mad if you go out and fly. And
you're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, even though it does have internal storage, usually you don't get that much. But Ray, Herman,
I gotta find you one of these card readers, Lawrence.
I know.
Them around here. I know when you had the other issue, but that soon gets fixed anyway. I got to get over to B&H and hit up those guys with B&H.
How you doing, Alan? Drone Views Media.
For those of you who don't know, and you're thinking about getting the Air 2S, I have one thing to say: it's worth every freaking dime.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was not a paid endorsement from DJI. That is my personal experience, and the views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat, but that's how I feel.
Right. Well,
we're about to listen.
It's very capable of doing what you need to do with her. I don't feel that there's anybody that would have much to do that they needed to do that this thing couldn't help them get it done.
Yes.
You know, it is a capable drone.
Solid.
You know, I'm enjoying it. I like flying it.
And what about you, Ray?
Before, the only thing is like we've said before, 100 times, nothing else to be said about it, is that app. If they could put if this drone was on the Go 4 app, I might buy 2.
Well, I have to say, I think they did something with the app because I never had that blackout screen on my iPad Mini 5, and it happened. It happened when I was with you guys in Brooklyn at your meetup.
Right.
And it's a scary thing, and it happened again after that.
Well, I think that's just because there's so many
complaining about it.
I just think that there's just so many other drones, you know, in the area that's what that probably was. Because you don't get it when you're flying by yourself with one other guy, right?
No, it didn't happen. No.
Yeah, see, this thing of because it was too many, it was a lot of guys. You know, how many 2Fs you think were out there that Saturday?
Yesterday,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time I
there had to
looked
be.
up, one was going. They
Right,
were,
or the
or the
FPV.
mini, or
Yeah,
the
there
mini.
was probably 10 drones in the air at one time when
Yeah,
I looked up.
Yes,
At the
and keep
busiest
in
point, I
mind,
thought.
we were down at the other end flying FPV also at the same time.
well, you know what I do have on video?
What's that?
I was taking off, and as I'm going up, I passed right in front of Ray Kelly's drone, his 2S.
Yeah.
I think we were maybe like 10 feet away from each other, 10, 15 feet. And as he was coming down, I'm going up. We passed right by each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you
I
will
was able
see
to
that.
track it a little bit too.
So I guess you will see that. Well, if you were in the air at any given time, there's a very good chance that someone did fly by you, you know. And the cool thing was the Rhode Island drone group, the Rhode Island drone meetup group has a saying, no man down. There were no incidents yesterday. There were no crashes except for FPV, which were human error, but there were no drone to drone crashes. And the crashes that were done during FPV, well, if you fly FPV, you're going to crash. So entertaining. Thanks, guys, for recognizing Rid Mug meetup. I wish I could have went to Jamestown. Great views. I'm reading this from the group. So there are a few people watching outside of the stream that perhaps we can't see. But if you're lurking and you're watching the live stream, I would like to say, please come into the chat, type your name so we can get your YouTube channel, and everybody in here will show you support. And if you return the favor, that's just how we do. Because right now I'm showing in the live chat the participants that are actually participating in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 people there, but we have 23 concurrent viewers.
You know what happens, Lawrence, and I have to say, I did it in the beginning.
Right.
You know, I was a lurker because I was so nervous. You know
why,
what I mean?
dude?
So you're lurking, and then finally you put in one little comment, and somebody responds to it. You know.
Yeah.
And it was good. It makes you feel welcome, you know.
Well, but this is what we try to do.
How people feel sometimes.
But Ray, this is what we try to do. How the hell do we? Hell yeah. That's how we do. Hell yeah. Ray, this is what we try to do. And I don't know if you noticed, but we're not much different from other live streams, except we try to keep up with current drone news or something that's happening, because not only do you need to know what's happening with you and your own drone personally, but you need to know what's happening in the drone community. And hopefully that if we can share any little bit of knowledge. I had numerous people come to me at the meetup that I didn't even know watched our live stream and say, yo, you've helped me out. Michael Blades said it. My first time meeting, he's like, yo, I've learned some stuff in your live stream. Thanks a lot.
Well,
you know,
it was funny, Lawrence, you started the live stream. I told you, so, you know, I like the idea
of Ariel, I'm
sharing the things that we learn or we see out there in the unmanned community, no matter what type of aircraft it might be. You know, there's basically the current events, and then we also talk about whatever's coming out for the community.
Right.
And I even mentioned things like when companies like William were talking about going public. Well,
right.
That's something that the guys in the drone community can take advantage of.
Yes.
So they go public, you can buy the stock.
Yes.
And
yes.
make a couple of bucks off of the unmanned world that we operate in.
Also, we've done drone stories to the point where Herman and I did drone stories, Ray, over a year ago. And we saw a commercial of a story of a drone we did a story on a year ago and a few months back.
Yeah,
this morning on the news, Ray, we saw it on the news.
They were talking about what was that? The drone tax they mentioned.
The Velocopter.
France is trying to, Volocopter. And France is working to try to get them going for the Olympics. because
Yes.
the summer games are going to be in France, the next Olympics.
And they're talking
So,
about using the drone taxis
so they
to
want
ferry
drone
people
taxis
around.
ready for the up and going in this world.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're going to see more and more. I hate to say it, you know, you want to stay positive, but you're going to see incidents, you know, like those drones at the drone show falling out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's
And,
inevitable.
You know,
it
it's
happens,
funny,
you know.
but I wouldn't worry about that too much. And I don't really foresee it so much here in the States the way we are when it comes to stuff like that. Like we were terrified here to even let a drone, a mini, fly over someone's head. You know, I mean, I'm not even sure the Tello complies with with being able to fly over people.
Yeah.
I know I'm tired now. I can't spell the word adult.
You know, so I think here in the States we are so thorough on those type of things. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
That's true, because if you think about it,
being invested in getting this going.
but that's true also, Herman, because if you think about it right now to date, present date, and we've done stories on this as well, Ray and people in the chat, but right now, the present day, drone accidents, crashes, and incidents are less than average aircraft records. It has there are so minimal. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, Herman. If you could
Yeah,
say it for me. I'm babbling now.
The amount of
Caffeine's wearing
flights,
down.
the amount of miles covered by, and just what I believe that the numbers were. I don't have them in front of me, but you know, they were mentioned, you know, about a year ago, and the fact that how many miles, how many flights, and this is information shared in just amongst the companies with that make consumer drones. But we talked about they talked about how many miles and stuff that was flown, but not one fatality.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
So
not one fatality.
You have to just learn to trust the tech, Ray. The same way you trusted that ferry to get you across the Long Island Sound, the same way you trust your car to get you to the local store for milk. You don't think that it's going to break down when you're driving, do you? You don't think the motor's gonna shut off. You don't think an airplane engine is gonna blow up, because if you thought about that, you wouldn't leave your freaking house.
Well, Alan's saying that with the mini drones, less than 250, they can fly over people in Ireland now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Billy Kyle mentioned this. We were having a conversation on the pier at the meetup, and Billy Kyle had mentioned also that there's a very good strong, and he stressed this is his own opinion. There's a very good chance that DJI may be focusing on the 250 class size or slightly over, because
we spoke on this with Sean Geeks Runner, and that is the future of the unmanned consumer world. Are those drones that are about the size of your phone, a little thicker, but in the future, that's what you're going to be getting. I mean, it may not have to be sub 250, but that size, that's what you're going to start seeing a lot more in the future when this gets going. I don't think they want guys flying these big hunking drones like what we've been flying.
Well, we have Randall Warners from Evo Robotics coming on the Fly for Fun show on Wednesday, and we're going to try to pin them down on whether or not they're coming out with a Ortel Mini drone.
That'll be interesting, because think about it. Other than commercial work, I mean, if you are a recreational flyer, go out and get the Mini SE. Go out and get the 2S. You really don't need anything. The DJI Mavic Air 2 or the DJI Mavic Air, which you should be able to get even cheaper. Any of those classes of drones are a certain size, and I mentioned them specifically, but if you're just getting into drones and you are flying recreational, they're more than sufficient. Now, if you're a 107 pilot or you plan on getting paid for hire and getting your 107, what you should do is learn how to fly one of those smaller drones. And then as you get your 107 or slightly before, you go out and you buy a Phantom 4 Pro, an Inspire, or whatever you need, a bigger machine, or even a Mavic 2 Pro, a Mavic 2 Zoom, so you can get that work done. Right now, Herman and I were talking about this. in the state of New York, Ray, it will come to a time and point where if you are a 107 pilot, New York City will be looking for drone pilots with their 107 to do building inspections.
Yeah, I can see that coming
because the gentleman who everyone believes is going to be the next mayor, he's on board with it. He wants it.
We got 1 minute, guys.
He'll push.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Listen, everyone. I want to thank you, Ray, for coming up to Rhode Island. I want to thank Deneen, Eddie Nunez,
the whole New York crew.
Robert C. Ron Classic. Who else did I not mention? Because my brain is fried right now. But
Tom.
If I didn't mention you, yes, Tom. Also,
his
Tom
wife
and wife. All of
Eddie
you who
Nunez
came up there.
and his wife. Yeah.
Yes, Eddie Nunez also with his wife. For those of you who came up there, whether you couldn't come or not, we appreciate the support. Thank you for coming up and representing New York, Ray, and everyone else. Thank you, Mark Fisher and Michael Blades, for putting the idea in Mark Fisher's head for having this meetup. It's 7 p.m. I'm going on about very little sleep this weekend. There's some footage I want to look at. There's some scotch. I want to sit down and have a drink and kick back and edit some footage. Okay. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the support. Ray, so you get it in timing with us. We usually go Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by, and then I go like this. I point at the screen and we go those guys. All right. You ready to do this?
Ready.
Okay. Thank you. You have anything to say before we get out of here, Herman or Ray?
Well, I just want to thank Mark one more time, Mark Fisher, for inviting us out. Mark, you're a class act, brother. Thanks for, inviting us out and hanging out with your friends and making new friends, and your
family.
Friends became my friends. And like I said, thank you again, your whole Rhode Island group, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday on my stream. That's about it. Thank you.
And
guys.
don't forget to check out Ray Kelly and Johnny Drone Flyer, the Fly for Fun show, immediately after that live stream. And with that, we're going to go out of here. Sunday Nights with Those Guys is sponsored by
Those Guys.
Thank you so much. Good night. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Good night.
Good night. Fly
Ray
safe.
Kelly, Ray,